Hello, I'm Crypto Casey, and welcome to my new video series, Last Week in Crypto. Every Sunday, we review the performance of the largest cryptocurrencies, top gainers, as well as the latest global news stories affecting the crypto markets this past week. In this episode, we will talk about what happened in the market, an untapped potential ally for the blockchain revolution, the importance of decentralization, the systemic weakening of the global economy, and Bitcoin's slow transition from being a speculative asset to a safe haven. To check out the links to all of the articles we discuss, go to cryptocasey.com/lastweekcrypto. So let's get started. Bitcoin's 7-day moving average was about 1.5%, and Ethereum at 5.8%. The top gainer this week was Elrond, a lesser-known Ethereum competitor, up a staggering 117%, following an announcement that their mainnet will launch this month on July 30th. Next, we have VeChain up 68%, Dogecoin up 63%, and finally, Cosmos up 50%. Bitcoin did experience a pump going over 9,400 late in the week, riding on the wave of a strong altcoin rally. With Ethereum's long-awaited Serenity upgrade on the horizon, and the DeFi space starting to heat up, you'd think that would be the most logical and predictable cause of the pump. But no, friends, this is crypto after all. Logic and reason can't always be applied to this market. The rally was actually caused by the infamous, lovable Dogecoin. Yes, that cryptocurrency created in jest, inspired by a popular dog meme at the time. Dogecoin's trading volume surged over 683% after TikTok influencer James Galante challenged his followers to buy Dogecoin in an attempt to pump the price to $1 per coin so they could all get rich. The challenge also started trending on Twitter and secured hundreds of thousands of views, leading to a 71% spike in the price of Dogecoin. Although this coin will definitely come crashing down, in fact, at the time of this recording, it's already down 20% today, this TikTok fiasco definitely created a lot of awareness about the cryptocurrency space and will hopefully plant a seed from which adoption will grow going forward. And that's not all the craziness TikTok managed to stir up this week. Nope, not even close. Generation Z has declared war on the Trump administration after Republicans called to ban the TikTok app. Generation Z, the up-and-coming wave of youth beginning to enter our society, were outraged by the notion of banning one of their main social media entertainment hubs, especially in the midst of COVID quarantines. Some Gen Zers spoke out stating, "If you're gonna mess with us, we'll mess with you." And Gen Z don't go down without a fight. Let's go to war. Oh, and let me tell you, they hit the front lines. Following the Republicans' call to ban TikTok, a plan was executed to download the official Trump 2020 mobile app and leave a 1-star rating with a scathing review in an attempt to get the app delisted from the App Store, which I don't think is possible. But looking at the reviews on the App Store, you can see that their attack has secured over 283,000 ratings, giving the app an average of 1.2 out of 5 stars. And man, some of those reviews were definitely interesting, so if you have a minute, it's worth a gander. I think the most important thing we can learn from these TikTok stunts is the power of technology as a medium of communication between people, and how it can be used to affect change or send a message. While millennials catch a ton of flack, we will probably start transitioning into the world's middle child, where we will still continue to be blamed for everything, but won't be paid that much attention to. The people within Gen Z are the first true digital native human beings. And studies like this one show they exhibit more interest in ethical behavior and unveiling the truth behind things. Their staunch commitment to activism, coupled with their technological dexterity, make Generation Z an extremely important and overlooked asset to the blockchain revolution. So hopefully the Dogecoin mania and possibility of a centralized application like TikTok getting banned will inspire Generation Z to devote some of their time, attention, and zeal towards understanding more about blockchain technology and the potential it has to create a more ethical and trustless world for us all. Gen Z and Gen Y joining forces in all of our technological superiority can have a major global influence despite our age, lack of wealth, and traditional influence. And we can start to see the fruits of such a union in a story released this week covering a new guerrilla marketing campaign aimed at creating Bitcoin awareness. A group called Ideas Are Like Flames created an initiative called the Bitcoin Awareness Game that incentivizes people to place Bitcoin-related stickers in places all around the world. The aim is to change the nefarious stigma often associated with Bitcoin. The stickers contain messages like, "Fix the money," Fix the World, Be the Change, and Exit Fiat, among others. Photos of stickers have been published from Germany, UK, Austria, and even Asian countries like Pakistan. Participants can apply to be rewarded, a part of a bounty campaign that aims to distribute 675 Satoshis, the smallest unit of Bitcoin, which is worth about 6 cents per photo. Driving cryptocurrency adoption through awareness of existing financial corruption and empowering people to spread the word to create change will be crucial going forward. Otherwise, mainstream media will continue to create false narratives around Bitcoin and proliferate more lies among the masses. Moving on, let's talk about the importance of decentralization. As we have seen with the threat to ban TikTok, although people were able to use the application to come together and attempt to effect change, the application is centralized and can be shut down by the government. In contrast, if a decentralized version of TikTok existed, people would still be able to freely communicate with each other and distribute media or consume media at their will. So TikTok is an app, but what if your connection to the internet at large was at risk of being banned to some extent? Well, in a tweet July 9th, Maddie Greenspan, investor, analyst, and founder of Quantum Economics, shared that his ISP, or internet service provider, sold him a brand new router with a fancy cybersecurity feature that will block sites they have deemed inappropriate or provocative. This feature cannot be disabled. The internet is no longer free, he tweets. This is vastly disturbing. But you know what else is vastly disturbing? Imagine if all of your hard-earned money you store in your bank account had restrictions that required you to justify cash withdrawals, and without a good justification, the bank held your money against your will. Yeah, well, that has already started happening in China. In this article that came out Thursday, around 70 million people in 3 provinces in China will be subjected to cash withdrawal restrictions. This was announced after the police, banks, and government were not able to dissuade people from withdrawing all of their cash in their bank accounts. And check this out. This is absolutely insane. The People's Bank of China said the move will keep the unreasonable demands of large amounts of cash in check. What? How is doing whatever you want with the money you've worked so hard for unreasonable? These people are unreasonably demanding to manage their wealth as they see fit? This just blows my mind. And apparently, this is the start of a 2-year project where individuals will need to get government approval to withdraw 1,000 to 300,000 yuan. Okay, 1,000 yuan is equal to $142. 300,000 yuan is around $42,000. And for businesses withdrawing more than 500,000 yuan will require prior government approval, which is around $71,000. $71,000 when running a business is not that much. These decisions were made in the wake of various reports from banks being unable to pay account holders their hard-earned money. So I'm just gonna let you sit back and process that. Outside of fiat, the people that do transact with cryptocurrency commonly use stablecoins. But just because it's a stablecoin doesn't mean it's completely decentralized. This week, Censor, the entity that issues the dollar-pegged stablecoin USDC, confirmed it blacklisted an address in response to a request from law enforcement freezing over $100,000 worth of USDC. You can see how the true principles of blockchain, decentralization, transparency, and immutability were not completely adhered to in the creation of USDC, which is how a regulated business like Censor is able to maintain the power to sanction certain accounts despite operating on a public blockchain. So instead of the users controlling their funds, Censor actually maintains control of all the USDC on the blockchain. So this is something you need to be mindful of when using stablecoins. Make sure you are using truly decentralized stablecoins like DAI, and avoid centrally controlled or non-transparent stablecoins like USDC or Tether. Moving right along, let's talk about the increasing systemic fragility in our global economy coming to light. This week, Argentina had a record-setting Bitcoin volume of 101 million Argentine pesos, which is roughly about $1.4 million. So around 92 Bitcoin moved last week. And though it may have been record-setting for 2020, it pales in comparison to the all-time Bitcoin trading high of 228 Bitcoin Argentina mobilized in April of 2016. And I'd like to go ahead and parlay this into an extremely important notion most people in first world countries completely fail to understand or accept as the sad reality of the world at large. The financial crisis Argentina, Lebanon, and countless other countries have experienced, are experiencing, or will experience is vastly misunderstood and underappreciated by US citizens and similar. And as a US citizen, I can honestly say most people in our country seem to forget, or perhaps simply don't care, about the fact that there are other people and countries on this planet. In fact, although the US is the third most populous country in the world, we only make up a mere 4% of the number of human beings on this planet. And personally, one of the hardest concepts to explain to people is how Bitcoin is being used in other countries. And not just for fun and games or criminal activity like most people think, it's some countries' citizens' only way to survive. And by survive, I mean not starve, not live on the streets, not die. Here's a story about a Syrian refugee who explained how Bitcoin has changed his life. He says, "I've been using Bitcoin for years because my family needs it, not because I enjoy speculative trading." He goes on to explain that he used to send fiat money from the Netherlands to his family in Lebanon twice per month, and how the fees were killing him, how waiting in money transfer shops was torturous, and all of the impossible restrictions around transferring money. There are so many countries with large populations that were, and still are, basically excluded from banking services. For example, most people in Saudi Arabia with work permits have families in India or Pakistan, yet there is no way to transfer the money they earn back home to their families. He goes on to say that Bitcoin does not have these restrictions or involve exorbitant transaction fees. So when someone says, "I don't get Bitcoin, what can you buy with it? Why would you want it? How can you use it?" Consider how the value of the Argentine peso is being printed away into worthlessness. Consider people that are on work visas that have no way of sending money back home to their families. Consider how China is literally preventing people from withdrawing their own hard-earned money. If you're in the US and you think we are special, I personally wouldn't bank on it. World powers come and go, along with their fiat currencies. This week, we saw the US budget deficit hit a record $863 billion in June, which is a 100 times increase from just a year ago. Last June, the deficit was $8 billion. This June, it was $863 billion. That's an addition of over $763 billion. And if you don't know what to make of it, just follow the money. This week, gold hit a 9-year high, supported by the prospect of a lengthy period of government stimulus to support economies harmed by the COVID crisis. So in these uncertain times, we are seeing financial traders and investors alike flocking to gold. And as we see in another article released this week, Bloomberg is bullish on Bitcoin. The July edition of the Bloomberg Crypto Outlook, published by the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index, lays out new arguments that show how the cryptocurrency Bitcoin is on its way to becoming, that's right, digital gold, thanks to mass adoption and central bank inflationary policy. Bloomberg states that Bitcoin's volatility will continue to decrease until the cryptocurrency is no longer a speculative asset. The article goes on to explain the best example of increasing Bitcoin adoption is arguably recent acquisitions by the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is purchasing the crypto at a rate that exceeds the output of mining. The report concludes that central policy will be another important contributing factor to the crypto's performance. Money supply expansion, aka the printing of more and more fiat, will drive up Bitcoin's price. So we are starting to see big financial institutions using Bitcoin as a safe haven in these uncertain times. And we will continue to see more traditional investors turning to cryptocurrency as events like this become more prevalent. Coinbase started plans for a stock market listing that could come as early as this year, making it the first major US cryptocurrency exchange to go public. The size of Coinbase's business and its popularity make its going public of great significance, particularly in an industry keen on gaining the approval from mainstream traditional investors who until now have tended to dismiss cryptocurrency as a speculative asset. Awesome. Well, that was Last Week in Crypto with me, Crypto Casey. To check out the links to all the articles we discussed, go to cryptocasey.com/lastweekcrypto. So what did you think of the stories we covered? Did you find this video helpful or entertaining? Are you going to wait until Bitcoin is no longer a speculative asset before investing? If not, check out my list of recommended exchanges in the description area below.